Hello. I just made a video about the ex-chief, the ex-head of the Bank of England, complaining that pursuing a totally unrealistic net zero goal was not within the Bank of England's remit. And the fact that they had been trying to do that was reducing the Bank of England's effectiveness as a money manager. And then, lo and behold, I came across this. It says here, Democrat backpedals on crime after assault. And then it says, Minnesota activist who called for police force to be shut down thanks officers after a brutal carjacking. And what happened was this poor woman was beaten up by some people who were trying to steal her car. Even worse, her children were present while she was being beaten up. She left her kids and ran in the hope that the thugs would chase her and leave the kids alone. A Democratic Party leader who pledged to dismantle the Minneapolis police following the murder of George Floyd has called for a crackdown on crime after she was violently carjacked in front of her children. Shivanti Sathanandan, the second vice chairman of the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party, whatever that is, thanked the police for their help after she was attacked by 4 armed men in broad daylight outside her home. Yeah, big brave men, by the way, 4 of them, a young mother, obviously not an enormous person, with her children. Yeah, that really shows what heroes they were. Sharing an image of her bloodied face on Facebook, she wrote, "This is the face of a mother who's just had the shit beaten out of her. A mother whose only thought was, let me run far enough and fight hard enough so that my kids have a chance to get away." Miss Sathanandan described hearing her 4-year-old daughter's screams and her son 7 wailing for someone to come help because bad guys are murdering his mama in the backyard. The men who held her neighbours at gunpoint, oh yeah, they really were heroes. They had guns too. When they tried to help, I mean the neighbours, that is, left her with a broken leg. They really must, I mean, you break somebody's leg, you've really got to be laying into them, haven't you? I'm not minimising this woman's injuries. What I am minimising is her intelligence, because she has received a lesson that I hope nobody else has to receive. But I'm quite sure that many people have received, but they weren't in a position to change the situation as she is. I have no doubt they've done this before, yet they're still on our streets, killing mothers, giving babies psychological trauma that a lifetime of therapy cannot erase, with no hesitation and no remorse, she said. Well, duh. You know, I may not sound very sympathetic. Of course, I appreciate that this woman has been badly injured. And of course, I really don't like what's happened to her children seeing this. But she is one of the people who actually engineered this situation. So my sympathy for her pain and suffering is somewhat tempered by the knowledge that she has inflicted pain and suffering on other people who don't have her voice. How many mothers have been beaten up by these guys before and the police weren't around to help because they've been defunded or put onto, duties that would keep them away from the public or just slowed down by bureaucratic measures? Or even fear that the assaulters may not have been the right colour and given them a bad reputation for being racists. She has contributed to that. And there will be many before her. As she said, they've done it before. And then she says, I wasn't silent when I fought these men to save my life and my babies, and I won't be silent now. Yeah, not now. Now you've been beaten up. But what about before? When it was happening to other people? Miss Sathanandan wrote, look at my face. Remember me when you're thinking about supporting letting juveniles and young people out of custody to roam our street instead of holding them accountable for their actions. And she went on to thank the incredible Minneapolis 4th Precinct officers, Mayor Frey, Chief O'Hara for their help. I have seen another clip which showed the Mayor of New York. I don't remember his name, sorry. Talking about how terrible all these immigrants are coming across an unprotected border. Because they're getting, what does he say, 10,000 people a week or a day or something horrible that they have to look after. Shock horror. Nobody could have predicted that, could they? I have heard, I mean, I'm sure you've heard that thing, a conservative is a liberal who's been mugged. Yeah. This is what she said before. Minneapolis Police Department has systematically failed the black community. I'm not going to speculate on the community from which her assailants came. But there's a statistical likelihood. I'm not going to go any further. They have failed all of us. It's time to build a new infrastructure that works for all communities. DFL chairman Ken Martin, I don't know, DFLR, told local TV news station RSTP he was heartbroken by news of the attack. He said, "It's my sincere hope that the people who assaulted Shivanti are quickly brought to justice and face punishment commensurate with the severity of their crimes." It's whoever this guy is. I think that must be the political party, isn't it? Democratic Farmers, Labour or Liberal or whatever. Yeah, he wants them to face punishment. There were other people before that. Why weren't you speaking out then? It's because you let this situation, you and your co-religionists, because this is a religion, let this situation get to this state. But you didn't care about the collateral damage then, did you? Only when you realised that it is going to happen to you. It's not just the poor people in the worst parts of town. Anyway, a 2022 Pew Research survey found 47% of Americans wanted to see an increase in police spending, up from 31% in June 2020. Support for cutting police funding has dropped from 25% to 15%. Well, at least there's some sense being talked now. The fact that this woman has obviously a South Asian background would tend to reduce her being called a racist. Not always, though. Not always. But maybe things are on the turn, which is cause for some optimism, isn't it? And I'm Grannyopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. Before you go, please like this video. Please also, if you want to contribute, look in the description. All the links are in there. But yeah, just clicking the like is very helpful. Subscribe. Click the subscribe bell if you're on YouTube so you'll get notifications. Okay, till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Grannyopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.grannyopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.